36-14, Colorado loses to BYU in the 2024 Alamo Bowl. Brian, from Ralphie's run at the beginning, which was not her best performance, pretty much all the way through. There were a few bright moments, we'll get to them, but they were few and far between.
Yeah, well, first off, calling that a run would be incorrect because that was about the. I run faster than that. Let's just put it that way. It's crazy how, I mean, 3 times we've been down here since I've been covering this, and it's looked like this every time. And, I really thought this was going to be different. I thought it is a different CU team. And I thought it's a different CU team. I thought it was a much better matchup for them than the previous 2 were. And it just, credit to that BYU defense. They set the tone in this one. And I thought that was the biggest difference for me. What I got wrong in the prediction was that they were way better than I thought they were. I thought they were good, but they were way better than I thought they were going to be. And, just not a good night.
And it wasn't even this standout performance by BYU. It was just a solid, steady performance. And at one point in the game, they had they were down 3-1 on the turnover margin. So you'd think in that case that Colorado would be at the very least in the game, but it just really never felt like they were in rhythm tonight, especially offensively.
Well, and BYU was giving them chances early on. I mean, they had 2 big drops early in the game. One was a for sure touchdown on a trick play that their tight end dropped. Another one was a deep pass that may have been a touchdown, who knows. But 2 huge drops. Then you have the 3 interceptions they threw. So they were doing things that let CU hang around. And, it was – I kept thinking when they're down 10-0, like, man, if they can just get a touchdown here and then they get the ball back to start the third quarter, it's a whole different ball game. And it just never happened. CU never took advantage of any of that stuff. And credit to that BYU defense. They stuffed the run, which – as we know, it's not that hard against CU, but they also got after Shedeur, got him quite a bit in the first half, and the one sack was a killer, 23-yard loss when they're at the 7-yard line, and Mata has to try a 48-yarder, which would have been his longest, and so that's the extent of his range, and I think. I'm not saying if he makes that field goal, it's a different ball game, but you would have liked to have gotten some points out of that, and you didn't. And I thought that was a deflating moment for the Buffs as well. So there was a lot of those moments that just added up. And you're right, it wasn't a dominating performance, where BYU was like, wow, they're unbelievable. It was just they kept stacking up really good plays and taking advantage of CU's bad plays.
And some procedural stuff you'd like in your last game that not to see, but it also begs the question, there is that break in there. Clearly, BYU handled that break better than Colorado did. I don't know if next year when Colorado's in a bowl game they change anything about what they did. I saw down here in San Antonio a team that was pretty focused, but there was also a break after the regular season ended. And as great as it was, there was a Heisman Trophy ceremony and all that. There was just a lot more stuff going on for Colorado, I feel like, right after the season than what BYU was dealing with.
Yeah, for sure. And it's hard to know for sure if that played a role, but Travis was all over the place accepting awards, and Shedeur was in Baltimore accepting awards, and Travis played great, and Shedeur I think did what he could sometimes behind a line that was under fire all night, but I don't want to say it's just that, but you're right in that they were dealing with a lot. It's positive stuff, but they had a lot more going on than BYU did, and BYU, they were asked the other day about how do you feel about being kind of flying under the radar? Nobody's talking about you, and they're like, great, we love it.
Yeah.
And I think that played to their strengths tonight. They just kind of were able to go about their work throughout the last month, and it paid off tonight.
Now, Travis going out to New York didn't really affect him too much. He was fantastic again tonight. Yeah. Was not able to be targeted quite as much as I'm sure they would have liked to, but a couple really vintage Travis Hunter plays. I mean, that first down catch in the first half, on third down, how many guys make that play? And then the touchdown as well. That was the cool part about tonight, is having a Heisman Trophy winner on the field making plays for the Buffaloes. Unfortunately, there weren't enough other guys making big plays too.
Well, and there's going to be some people out there, I'm sure, that discredit the Heisman a little bit because they lost this game. Travis Hunter was not the reason they lost this game. He was phenomenal. Even on defense, I don't remember him giving up really many passes. He made some tackles in the running game. He was physical on defense tonight too. So he was the best player on the field for sure for the Buffaloes. I think he was the best player on the field, period. But BYU, man, Their running back, L.J. Martin, was really good tonight. Their defensive line was really good. Isaiah Glasser, the linebacker, was really good. And, got to stick it to the bus a little bit with that late interception and doing the Dion dance there late. Parker Kingston, the punt returner, their kicker, who's got a leg on him, was phenomenal. So, they were able to overcome a bunch of mistakes early in this game. And, I'm sure they're sitting there saying we would have won the Big 12 title if we would have gotten in that game, because they clearly looked like the Big 12, the best team in the Big 12 tonight.
Running through some other positives for the Buffs tonight. Savell Smalls catches his first touchdown as a Buff. Defensively, Cameron Silman-Craig with a big interception, DJ McKinney with an interception, and a 315-pounder in Quinn Barnes with an interception. You don't see that every day. There were times that they were giving the offense momentum, and then the offense just wasn't able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, they weren't. And, Shiloh Sanders with an interception on the 2-point conversion. Shiloh had some plays as well tonight. But, the defense, I thought, did their part. I mean, you look up and they give up 36 points. But, again, one was a punt return, and others were field goals on short fields and things like that. So I thought the defense did okay tonight. And like you said, they were opportunistic and gave the offense chances. And, I don't know how many times I was writing, once again, the Buffs offense did not capitalize on that, and it was just a frustrating night. And, Shador and Coach Prime were asked tonight, well, what didn't work offensively for you? And Shador goes, everything. And Coach Prime just goes, ditto. It wasn't their night offensively.
Yeah. A 9-win season for the Buffaloes, 9-4. I think perspective can wait till tomorrow, though, right? Because this is one that you got to feel disappointed with. You had a chance to break the bowl losing streak that goes back to 2004. You had a chance to get that 10th win, which just double digits is a hard thing to accomplish in college football. So I would understand Colorado fans that need tonight to kind of take that before you have some of that perspective and think back to how special this season really was.
Yeah, you also had a chance to break the Alamo Bowl jinx, which clearly is not broken. The last 3 Alamo Bowls we've covered have just been miserable.
As we were walking over here, there was a CU fan yelling at you that I'm not coming back here.
I'm never coming back here. And I kind of joked and said, well, I would think that if they get invited, Rick George would say, no, we are not coming to this place. And, it's been a house of horrors, really. I mean, it's a nice venue we were talking about.
It is. And the way they set up everything and the Riverwalk and so much about it is so great until they kick off the football. And Colorado, it gets ugly from there for them.
Well, I will say, I've been here for 3 Alamo Bowls. I've enjoyed my trips every single time except for the 3.5 hours during kickoff or during the game, and it's been miserable. And you look at, 2016, we were talking to John Snelson from, the CU Creative, he leads that team, and he did the Rise, all that stuff in 2016. And, this felt like 2016. It was such a good season back then, and it just ended with a thud right in this building. And that's what this year was. It was such a good season, and there was all these good feelings coming off Oklahoma State and the Heisman and all this stuff, and then to have it end like this, Buff fans probably need some time to let's get over this one, then turn the page. And it's for another day, but when you turn the page, there's a lot of positives.
Definitely. Well, you've got an early flight, so I'll let you get writing. That is a wrap on the Colorado Buffaloes 2024 football season.